This episode, which is an interactive offering, is here to give you insight into what is blocking your fullest potential, to help you get alignment and authenticity into your life if you are seeking a connection with your highest self. I feel if I do not start, then I just will not start. So I need to start. I just need to start. I need to film it. I need to I need to be comfortable. I need to be grounded. Otherwise, I can't do this.
Inhale, express calmness. Exhale, express peace. I am not afraid to speak my mind.
Io matua kore, ngā anahira pono, ngā tūpuna during this time, what's happening in this world. We thank you for the gift of life. We pray for all of those who are enslaved, who are being taken, who are being unalived at this time, especially those that are on their own whenua, their own land, Palestine, Congo, Sudan, Yemen, Lebanon, Australia, Aotearoa, Hawaii, North America, West Papua. We pray for all Indigenous and Black people around the world who are fighting for their whenua, their land, who are fighting for their lives, who are fighting for their future, their tamariki, their children. We pray to all of our haitiaki, our guardians. We invoke you to come around. Help us find the courage, the bravery, the authenticity, the hope, the love, the harmony that is needed to restore balance and harmony and justice in this world. We call upon the angels, the higher beings, those that guard over us, to come in at this time to break all illusion, to break all systems, to break all tradition that no longer serves this world, this planet, that no longer serves the people. We ask that you come here today during this message to the people to align closer to you, our Creator, Divine, God, your universe. Te Maori ora. Te Maori ora. May the breath of life be with you. Ko waio, who am I? My name is Te Hohi Pirarangi Māria. Some of you may know me as Hanel Harris. I whakapapa to Aotearoa on my mother's side. I'm a proud descendant of Ngāpuhi, Tūwharetoa ki Kawero, Ngāti Pikiao, and on my father's side, I am a proud descendant of Lebanon. I am a mama of 3, and I am a storyteller and a healer. What is Wahine Healers? Wahine Healers is a community of Indigenous, Oceanic, tangata whenua, tangata moana, wahine, and all of the terms associated with wahine women who are on their healing and spiritual journey. Our whakapapa, our genealogy, means that our gifts and our talents, our inheritance come from our tupuna, our ancestors, and so no one person, no one wahine, no one woman looks the same. Welcome to episode 1 of our Wahine Healers podcast. Today it is Rākau Nui here in Te Tai Tokiro, where this particular podcast episode is being filmed. First episode, a Wahine Māori's perspective on the Lion's Gate 88. So this episode actually started off as an offering for our Matariki offerings. We've been doing some intuitive spiritual coaching. We've been doing some astrology birth chart readings over the last couple of weeks. And the timing happened to fall right in the middle of not only Puanga and Matariki, but the Lion's Gate portal. Lion's Gate portal, what does it mean? So this was a little something that I wrote a couple weeks ago. This is an Indigenous Māori interpretation. Notice how I said "an," because I know a lot of you are going to want to come up here in this comment section. Oh, Lionsgate isn't a Māori thing. Oh, that is all New Age spiritualism. Oh, that's a very Pākehā whakaaro. Kao. It's not a Pākehā whakaaro. It's simply about observing our tai ao. The Lionsgate 88 portal here in Aotearoa, New Zealand, actually fell on an Oturu. Now, from my teaching and understanding, Oturu is actually the very first full moon of a 3-night cycle. The portal is actually open between the 28th of July to the 12th of August 2025 here in New Zealand time. The pinnacle being the 8th of the 8th. And really, I guess the significance mainly is on the numerology. You know, the number 8 is all about karma. It's all about what goes around comes around. It's about infinity. So on one aspect, if you're following the numerology of it, 8 of the 8th could be an apex just because of the numbers. However, if you don't subscribe to the Gregorian calendar and you align yourself with the Maramataka, the lunar calendar, you will actually find that, coincidentally, the 8th, the 9th, and the 10th are all on a Rākau Nui or a full moon phase. Now, there are lots of different interpretations about this phase, but generally the understanding is that this is when everything is heightened. Your emotions, the problems in your life can be magnified. It's just noisy. It's loud. There's a lot of energy. It's full. She, Marama, Hina, the moon is at her fullest. And in fact, this right here is an Oturu Pounamu. If you're aligning this time with the astronomy and the astrology, what can you potentially take? Well, Rākau Nui, the full moon, being in the astrological sign of Aquarius. Aquarius is the fixed air sign and is known as the humanitarian of the zodiac. When we think of Aquarius, we think unique, different, quirky, eccentric. They're just very themselves. Aquarius is represented by the container or the holder of the mātauranga, of the knowledge. So this Aquarius full moon Rākau Nui phase is in Leo season. Now, when we think of Leo, Leo rules the heart. Aquarius rules the knees, the calves, and the circulation system. We'll be going into that a little bit more later. So, when we think of Leo, we think of the child. We think of the sun, vitality. We think of creation. When you think about us being in Leo season, its ruler being the sun, and this moon in its fullness, it's almost like my interpretation, taku whakaaro. I'm thinking sun, tamanui te rā, ego, Maori. When I'm thinking of the moon, hina, I'm thinking wairua, essence, the soul. So for me, this particular Lionsgate portal is not about manifesting wealth or worrying yourself about all of the materials of the world. This particular event, astronomically and astrologically for me, is all about getting into alignment with who you authentically and uniquely are. Who were you born to be, and what you're going to do to express that full, authentic version of yourself. So I've written here, for thousands of years, the Lionsgate portal has been celebrated by many ancient indigenous cultures, and this is specifically derived from ancient Egyptian civilization. Tamanui Te Ra, Ra, sun god in Egypt. This window in time was considered a sacred celestial event and a moment to set resolutions. Here in Aotearoa, New Zealand, ancient Māori observed this event during puanga or Matariki, depending on tribal and hapu law. So this was when we also largely viewed an end of one year and the beginning of another year. Astronomically, this is when Tamanui Te Ra, the sun, aligns with Sirius, Hine Takurua, Tupuānuku, Earth, and Tautoru, Orion's belt. Sirius, or Hine Takurua, representing bravery, representing luck. This could be seen as Tamanui Te Ra consummating and having a good root with his wife, Hine Takurua, also known as the winter goddess. The sun in Leo encourages us to be creative, courageous, and childlike in our ability to dare to dream. Tautoru is said by some to be the branch of which the kereru is sitting on, with puanga as the berry, also known as Rigel. This constellation talks about the feeding patterns of the kereru, who at this time of the year is often fat from eating berries from trees like the miro or perhaps the tawa tree. Thus, the whakatauki or proverb, puanga kai rākau, speaks of reward, wealth, fortune, and abundance, and all the things that we can achieve when we work hard, when we dream big, when we really reach for the stars. So, working with this particular energy, this Lionsgate portal energy, can be an immensely healing time to release and let go and purge the things that are no longer serving you so that you can actually make space to welcome in the new. My whakaaro or thoughts is that this energy is really powerful for releasing what is no longer aligned for you so that you can plan ahead for the year to set some big goals in order to manifest. The problem with us these days as humans is instant gratification. We want everything now and we don't want the work to actually get it. And this is where we have to be really careful of things like manifestation and falling into all of these traps, which really just heighten our sense of capitalism, our want for more, our greed, and our selfishness. Instead of focusing on manifesting what you don't have right now, it's actually time to celebrate what you do have and use what you have for the benefit of humanity, because if you don't use it, you will lose it. Trust me. I've got some stories about this. So, what that looked like for us this week, me and Maya, was we needed to do some energetic clearing, not just our own energy, but the energy of the collective. As it does, you start to collect residue. For us, our healing is serious business. Our spiritual protection is serious business. So we went to go see our good sister Chelsea over at Kia Toa, and we had a beautiful romi with her. And it was interesting because while I was coming up with the notes for this episode, and I was talking to Maya about what body parts Aquarius rules, just to see if I could get some inspiration around what we could be focusing on in this transmission. And she said that Aquarius ruled the knees, some of the lower legs, and also the circulation system. So from that, yeah, I was like, okay, in Romi traditional Maori healing, the different body parts are associated with certain things in your life that you need to take care of and put some attention into. I was meditating on this, and when we got to Chelsea's and she started working on my feet and my legs, yeah, sure enough, around the knees were sore. And so I asked her, like, sis, and she said in her learnings, the knees are associated with those that support you. So we've got these themes here. You've got the circulation system, which is the thing that makes everything go around, right? It's your toto, it's your blood, it is the oxygen flowing through your body. It's it's everything that keeps it all moving. It's what keeps everything moving. And then on the other hand, you've got your knees, which are your sense of your those that are at your side that have got you. It was good because I was able to kind of deep dive and start to really channel what this particular offering for Tupuānuku could look like. Tupuānuku being all of the ground food that grows on the ground. This episode, which is an offering, is absolutely free. It is pay what you feel or koha what you feel, and that is just to encourage some kind of energy exchange, because we live in a world where we are so used to taking, and often as healers and creatives, the work, the mahi we do is never taken seriously. And even though people benefit, and their foundations are nourished when they are engaging in healing, we're still at a point in humanity where we think that we shouldn't have to pay. And it's not always about money, it can also be about taku. It's about the energy exchange. And I just love here, I had to hang up these beautiful taonga, and I would just love to mihi and just send my absolute gratitude to our tuahine kauri who exchanged and taku these taonga for one of the offerings. And so it's just about it's in the intention. So a koha can be sharing this episode with someone you think would be really into it, or sharing a review on your socials and tagging us so that we receive a return of the energy, because it is so hard to put yourself out here in this world. It is so hard to be your authentic self. It is so hard to speak the truth. And especially here in Aotearoa, and as wahine Māori and as wahine tangata moana Hawaii, we're not really very good at giving each other kudos. We are not good at uplifting and celebrating each other. We are in absolute competition with one another. We are envious. We are jealous. We have desecrated the tapu and the sacredness of the sisterhood. And this is something I'm really learning. I'm part of the Go Bravely community, and I have the most amazing high performance coach. Her name is Dr. Shelley-Ann, and she's from Trinidad and Tobago. The community is mostly Black, Indigenous, island women. And the way that they hype each other up, the way that they are so hospitable, welcoming, I can just see how they have really overcome that scarcity mentality and have realized that we are stronger together. And actually, when we start to collaborate and work together as women of color, that is how we're actually going to disrupt these systems. That is how we are going to annihilate the patriarchy and colonialism. But the more that we as Indigenous, Māori, Pacific women continue to feel like there's not enough room for us, or that our sister, our friend, that woman over there that is just too much, who the fuck does she think she is? The moment we get there is the moment that we block our liberation as a people. And so I really believe, wahine mā, it's up to us to come together completely and authentically, to heal that divine feminine within us so that we can show up for our tamariki, our children. So, with that said, I have some journal prompts, and on our playlist, there is a circulation meditation. I'm going to give some prompts, and you can pause in between while this circulation meditation is going. You're going to want it on loop because it's only 4 minutes long, and depending on how long it takes you to journal, you don't want to have it run out on you. This is the circulation boost meditation, and this is just going to help at a sound frequency level to help clear and purge your circulation system as you do these journal prompts. And we begin. Prompt number 1. Reflecting on where I was between August 2024 to now, what situations and habits am I purging, clearing, and destroying? Number 2, visualizing myself from now until 8th of the 8th, 2026. Who do I want to become? And number 3, from today, what people, situations, and habits do I need to attract to become the highest version of self? Going through the notes of this transmission, I was flicking through my book, which my son got me this book. It says, Mauria te pono, believe in yourself. I'm not sure where he got that from. I was going through it because I felt like there's something I want to share in here. And at the beginning of the year, on the 12th of January, me and Maya, we watched an Iyanla Van Zant YouTube video and we journaled to it. And the episode, which I can't find anymore, but it was Know Yourself. And there were a few gems that I really wanted to read in here. She talked about 2025 being a 9 universal year, bringing in the numerology. So this year is about completion, humanitarianism, and devotion. It's about releasing what doesn't serve you, surrendering and completing what you need to and what has come to an end. If it doesn't bring peace and joy, release it. Embrace flow instead of forcing progress. Return to compassion, empathy, spiritual principles, humanitarian values, and heart-centered solutions. Surrendering power dynamics. I've also written here, make healing your hustle. Healing requires self-awareness and reflection. 9 is time for growth, learning, and expanding consciousness. Kill the thing that is keeping you away from your divinity, keeping you away from Eo, God, Creator, Universe, whoever that higher energy is in your life. Really think about what and who is keeping you away from that. Heal the past and create the future. And learn how to really stand in your no. If it's not a fuck yes, it's a no. We don't have time. So yeah, I just felt pulled to go through this diary and had landed on those, and I thought they were really brilliant. So Auntie Ianla also gave some amazing prompts, which I recommend you also try. Tuatahi 1. How authentically are you being and living? Tuarua. Do you have a clear vision? Write it in 20 words or less. Tuatoru. Are you letting yourself or others get away with bad behavior? Tuawha. Do you know your why? Tuarima. Where are you on the scale of self-care? Tuaono. Are you a vibrational match for your desire? Tuafitu. How are you handling your greatest responsibility, your life and yourself? So, with it being a time for speaking your truth, for roaring loudly, for being courageous, trying to use your voice for change, like this is the time to really say what the fuck you want to say. I saw this post on social media and it said, in women, the throat and womb are energetically linked. Two gateways of creation. The womb births life, the throat births truth. When one is silenced, the other is dimmed. When one is free, the other can rise. And that really reminded me of a wānanga we were taught by one of our tuakana, which is that the womb, being the whare tangata for the wahine, corresponds to the throat being the whare tangata of the tāne. For me, when I think of us as humans, we are wairua. We are two spirits. We are two waters. One water from our mother and one water from our father. We have a taha tāne, a masculine side, and we have a taha wahine, a feminine side. Thinking about that whakaro, of course we would have a link between our whare tangata in our throat as a tāne, as a divine masculine, and our whare tangata in our womb as our taha wahine, our divine feminine. Now we're going to prepare our meditation. You're going to need to bring up the Express Yourself Throat Chakra Meditation by Londrell. Make sure you're comfortable, whether you want to lie down, whether you want to stay seated. It's really important that you are able to sink in with the meditation. I'm going to blow the taonga puoro 3 times, and when you're ready, in your own time, doing that meditation. To close this transmission, I'm going to do a collective reading for some last final thoughts for us to all reflect on as we come to the end of this Lions Gate portal on the 12th, where we can really set our eyes on a new horizon. But before we get into this reading, we do have our Matariki readings for the next couple of days. Have a look on our page to see if any of the current offerings are in alignment with what you are currently looking for on your wairuatanga spiritual and healing journey. We have Waiti, which is a shadow healing report. It looks at your astrology, and we pull a couple of cards to have a look at where you can reclaim your power, your mana motuhake, your sovereignty, and really find your voice. We also have Waita, which is a light healer report, which looks at your astrological birth chart and sees where there could be unique gifts and talents that have been handed down to you from your ancestors, your tupuna, perhaps your past life. And it looks at some of your personal planets and how they can really inform parts of your psyche and your personality. We also have Tupuānuku, which is a 2-card spread, and it's a 15-minute audio. So this is really good if you have a specific question or you're looking for what is in the near future, what is just over there that is just within reach, like that puanga berry. So the first card we're going to pull from is from the Black Moon Lilith deck, and I love this deck because it's been written by a black woman, Adama Sese. And if you don't know the story about Lilith, she was actually the first woman in the Bible. She was Adam's first wife, and she was made from the same kurawaka, the same red soil as Adam. When he wanted to lay with her, he demanded that she lay beneath him, but because she was made from that red earth, there's lots of stories of her being cast out of the Garden of Eden and becoming the mother of demons. And there is some kōrero that she is among the ascended masters because she stood in her sovereignty and she did not let authority tell her what to do. And in a lot of indigenous cultures, we see these archetypes like Lilith. They are the dark, divine, feminine. You think of Kali Ma. In Te Ao Māori, you think of Hine Nui Te Pō. And so where the patriarchal and colonized world has made us view these goddesses and these atua and these Māorekura higher beings as being devilish or evil, in fact, in a lot of indigenous texts and teachings, these particular wahine are tapu. They are sacred. And so we're going to draw a card from our Black Moon Lilith deck here just to see what, oh, yep, she's come straight out. Master Manifester. Our next deck is our Wairua deck from a fire named Bonnie Beatty. She was brought up in the East Coast, and I love these cards because they are from a Te Ao Māori perspective. Okay. We got Tohunga, and the last deck we've got is Ask an Angel by Tony Carmine Celino. Okay, we got 2 cards. Archangel Raphael with Health and Archangel Raziel, Divine Mystery. So Black Moon Lilith. Master Manifester, exaltation is the feeling of joy, elation, and peace. This phrase comes from the Hermetic principle of correspondence. As above, so below, as below, so above, as within, so without. Ko waironga, ko wairaro. You've transmuted darkness into light, and you are now using the power of your life force, your modi, to bend your reality to your will. Look at your birth chart to see if you have any exalted planets. Tapping into the power of these can help you during this phase of your journey. The exalted planets are Sun in Aries, Moon in Taurus, Mercury in Virgo, Venus in Pisces, Mars in Scorpio, Jupiter in Cancer, and Saturn in Libra. The next card, Tohunga. He tohunga motuhake e kore e wehi I te mate. Nō nā anake tōna āhua me tōna manarau. The Master exists because there is no fear of death. He is his own aura preordained by the celestial powers of creation. So this particular card is about mastery. It's about alchemy, and it's about skill sets. A tohunga is an expert in a field, so you can be a tohunga of raranga, of weaving, you can be a tohunga of kai, of food, you can be a tohunga of rongoa, of medicine. But usually a tohunga is connected with the thought of someone that has spiritual powers, that has some sort of heightened wairuatanga spirituality. They are healers within both the physical and the metaphysical realms, proficient in decoding the signs and symbols before them. We all have unique gifts to share with the world, and we can be masters in the skill sets that we apply ourselves to through commitment and servitude. So, this is the time. This particular portal is the time to get fucking real with yourself. What are you a master of? What are your gifts? Because we're all born unique. We're all born different. Everyone wants to be the same as that person on social media, that person on TV. Be yourself. You signed your own soul contract. Your birth story is so unique to you, your whakapapa genealogy, your stars, what your birth chart says. This is not the era to be anyone else. Any masking, any imitation in this period of time will not be rewarded. It will tank you mentally. If you are out of alignment with yourself and you're not being yourself, this is going to fuck with your brain, okay? Once mastery is achieved, we can go on to sharing gifts with others. In other words, you put in what you get out. So again, the words servitude and commitment jumping out at me is just again reminding me of the kereru of puanga being that berry. Set your goals high. This isn't the time to play small, especially not as we go into a 1 year next year. It is rebirth or die, pretty much. But remember, you are your own master. You are your own tohunga and you are your own healer. The next card, health, Archangel Raphael. So Archangel Raphael is one of the main angels of God and is associated with our health. The name Raphael means God heals, is the angel of healing and healers. As both a healer and teacher, Raphael assists in healing illness, disease, sickness, and is the patron angel who guides all who study the healing arts. In scripture, Raphael's role as healer and teacher is shown when he teaches young Tobias about medicine. So true health occurs when the mind, body, and spirit exists in a balanced state of harmony. So we're thinking te whare tapawha. We're thinking hinengaro, mental health, taha wairua, spiritual health, tinana, the body, and whānau, the family. When one aspect of health becomes imbalanced, it affects all the other aspects of health. This is something we see constantly in our lives. When the mind becomes stressed, strained, over or underworked, our bodies react immediately. We may experience digestive problems, sleep problems, headaches, or worse. Likewise, when the body is in pain, congested, restricted, we feel anger, stress, or depression. In order to function in true health, we must look at every aspect of our lives to find the balance. A healthy, balanced diet, exercise, water, and vitamins, balanced with sleep, rest, play, all assist the body in staying fit, strong, stimulated, relaxed, which helps the mind to stay centered and the spirit feel alive and free. Meditation, study, creativity keeps the mind centered, stimulated, allowing the body to experience life and energy, modi. When we connect to the spirit and connect to being part of something bigger, it gives the mind perspective. When intense or outdated emotion builds up in our system without any form of healthy release, it becomes poison to our bodies, can turn into serious illness. So if you're experiencing illness or disharmony of any kind, it's time to tune into your mind, your body, your emotions, your spirit. Find the root of what is causing you pain on a deeper, unexpressed, or unresolved level so you can take the action necessary to clear the problem. So drawing this card, it's essential for you to observe yourself and explore what it is that you need to do in order to experience true health, whether it's diet, exercise, rest, meditation, journaling, release pent-up energy. It is essential that action is taken now in order to bring life and health into balance. So Archangel Raziel means the secret of God, and he's the keeper of the divine mysteries and the divine codes of the world. He's also known as the divine guardian of celestial knowledge, so astrology. It's also said that it was in the book of Raziel as where Noah found the kōrero about the ark. I've completely run out of sunlight while I've done this video, which is a good tohu to wrap it up. The other day on the Lionsgate portal, we saw a dove. We saw a dove. And for me, this particular card is saying that we are definitely right in the crux of a spiritual turning point. We are in spiritual warfare. There is mass destruction happening across not only just the planet, across humanity. It's really time that we start to take our healing and our spirituality purposefully, intentionally. We are wairua, we are souls having a human experience, not the other way around. So it is time for us to be our uncompromising, unapologetic, sovereign, and authentic selves, because what's going to happen next, especially in the next 20 years, now that we're in this age of Aquarius, shit's gonna get fucking weird. Shit's gonna get fucking weird, and it's time for us to wake it up. It's time for us to wake it up. That wraps up this Lionsgate portal transmission and also our very first episode of the Wahine Healers podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. We are looking forward to what's on the horizon. It's time for us to step our pussy game up too, okay? And we will be. So I'm going to do a taku taku to clear and cleanse this space. This is from Ngā Te Awa as taught to me by Pootal Ngāropo. Korotaha te pō, korotaha te ao, mararo mai koe, marunga tu au, Te Ao Māori. And before you leave, jump back into the playlist. We've put a song in there called Revolution. Chuck that song on and blast it through your headphones, through your speaker. And if you found something valuable in this offering, in this episode, this transmission, please send it to another wahine, another woman who will benefit from this. Post up on your social media and spread the word. There is a spiritual revolution coming, and we want you to be part of it. Te Ao Māori. May the breath of life be with you. God bless.
If I were a rich man, I'd give it all to the world. If I were a poor man, I'd raise every boy and girl. Heal me once, heal me twice, cross my spirit, hope to die. Yeah. Yeah.